Hey guys, welcome. This is our Proving Triangles Congruent video. Let's begin. Alright guys, everything you see on here you're going to have to take notes on. So you can write everything on here except for you don't have to write where I got this from, which is the Math Warehouse. So you don't need to write that. There are five ways to prove triangles congruent. Okay? Now remember, there's 6 different pieces to a triangle. So we really have 6 different pieces or 6 different things in a triangle. Okay, so we have 3 angles and we have 3 sides. So these are our 5 ways to prove a triangle congruent. It's angle, angle, side. So if I have an angle and a side congruent to an angle, angle, and a side, then I know these 2 triangles are congruent, which means the rest of the angles and sides in the triangle are also going to be congruent. That's our whole point here. If I can use these 5 different ways to prove a triangle congruent, notice I'm only proving in this one 3 different items, 3 different items, 3 different items, and 3 different items. This is the only one we're only proving 1 item, but I'll talk about that one in a second. Okay, we're only proving 3 out of the total 6. Okay, but once I prove it, I can actually show. We'll erase this so you don't have to look at it. We can say that, hey, given that we proved these few things, then everything's going to be equal. Okay, everything else is going to be equal. So we're only proving 3 out of the total 6. Okay, so let's talk about them. Angle, angle, side. Like I said, these 2 angles, and a side. We have side, angle, side. That means the order goes side, angle, then side. We have side, 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 and angle, side, angle, and HL. HL is a special one. We don't use it a lot. This one only works with right triangles. Okay? And the reason why is because H stands for hypotenuse and then leg. So if we have a triangle that has a 90-degree angle, as long as we have the side, that's the hypotenuse, they're congruent, and a leg is congruent, we know that this triangle will be congruent. That's our HL, so a special one. Okay, so these are different ways that we can tell that we have angle, angle, side, angle, side, 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 angle, side. So we want to put this into practice. So please pause the video, write all of these down. You're going to need to reference these when we go over our examples. So let's get to it. One more thing to talk about. We need to write this down. What we call an included side is the common side of 2 consecutive angles in a polygon. So, for example, PQ is the included side here. This is really important when we start talking about the different theorems that we have. And we also have what's called an included angle. So we also have an included angle. I didn't include a picture of this, but the included angle is very similar to this, so we can write it down and do a basic picture of this as well. The included angle would be, if I was talking about this side and this side, this would be the included angle. It's in between the 2 sides I'm talking about. Just like the included side is right here, it's in between the 2 angles I'm talking about. Okay? This is going to be important for us when we talk about, for example, side, angle, side. Notice that this angle is not floating around over here. It's the actual angle that's included. So it goes side, angle, side. Okay? So it's really important that we want to make sure we get that down correctly. Okay? And then this one up here is important because this one has to do with angle, side angle, which is another one of our rules. And so the side has to be included. It can't be out here. Okay? It has to be in the order. That's why we talk about included. Let's get to a couple of practices. Okay. Now, we're given some information here, and we're going to go ahead and get through these. But first thing we want to know is what we have in common. So we know B is congruent to Y. Sorry, that was not a very good curve. We know A is congruent to Z, and BC is congruent to YX. Okay, we want to look at this and see if this is one of our rules. Okay, can I prove these 2 triangles congruent? Okay, well let's try. Let's go ahead. I'm just going to write my rules over here on the side so we can reference them real quick. So HL, that only works with 90s. We have side, side, side. We have angle, side, angle. We have angle, angle, side. That's 4. We're missing 1. And the last one should be side, angle, side. Okay? Alright, well, looking at this, I like to write them down in the way I have them. Okay, so I have a side, side, and an angle, or an angle, side, side. So here we go. So side here, check mark. Or sorry, that's not a side. Oh my goodness, I'm losing my marbles. Boom, boom. That's an angle. So angle, I have another angle, and then I have a side. So this is congruent by angle, angle, side. Is that one of my answers, or one of my possibilities? Yes, so this is our answer. So these two triangles are congruent by what we call angle, angle, side. Let's move on to the next one. C is congruent to X. A is congruent to Z. And CA is congruent to XY, or XZ, sorry. Okay, let's see what we have. We want to go in order. So we have angle, check, side, check, angle. Is that one of ours? Yes, it is. So this is our answer. That's how I know these two triangles are congruent. Notice the side is included in between the two angles. That's from our vocab from the last page. Alright, here we go. Next one, we got AC. AC is congruent to YX. Angle B is congruent to angle Y. And BC is congruent to YX. Okay, let's see if we can get this one. We have side, side, angle. Notice I couldn't go side, angle, side. See how I would skip this side? I have to go in consecutive order here. Okay, so I couldn't go from this side, angle, and then side, because that would be side, angle, side. That would look like this one here. I had to go in the immediate order. Okay, does this work? Does this work? Well, I don't see side, side, angle in here. And excuse what I'm about to say. But another way we know this is not possible is because if I wrote this in the other way, so imagine this word written in a different way, okay? And all I'm going to say is no buts, okay? No buts. So we can't have any buts. So if you look at this word and think about it in a different way, no buts. So this is not congruent. So we know this triangle is not congruent because it doesn't fit one of my congruency statements, okay? So no buts about that one. Let's look at our next one. XZ congruent to AC. XY congruent to BC. And then X is congruent to C. Okay? So notice this one's different from this one over here. The angle was up here, it wasn't included. Now the angle's included. When I include the angle, now I'm going to get side, there's the side, angle, there's the angle, and side. Okay, so there I get side, angle, side. That's one of my rules that checks off. Next, AB and ZY, those are congruent. AC and XZ are congruent. And then CB and YX are congruent. So this is going to be side, side, side. So this is also one of our rules. Okay, so we've done pretty much every rule here. Let's go ahead and do our last one. AB equals BC, and BD bisects ABC. Okay, so we have an angle here. Whoops. We have an angle here congruent to the angle there. And isn't it true BD is shared? So technically this is also congruent to itself, which means I have side, check, angle, check. And then they both share BD, right? So that's another side. So side angle side. And there we go. We used all of them in here. We used, let's go ahead and cross off the ones we used. We used side, side, side. We used angle, side, angle. We used angle, angle, side in the first one. And we used side, angle, side right there in the last two couple. Okay, we had to be aware of this. No butts, right? Okay, or I had one student say, don't touch the butt. So yeah, don't touch the butt. And then last but not least, we haven't used HO, but we'll go ahead and use that in class. So that one doesn't pop up as often. Alright guys, hope you enjoyed the video. Ciao, man.